I'm trained to be an architect, and Pierre Georges studied in Paris scenography. And when we worked together, we really brought the two, scenography and architecture, together into the projects we started to do by ourselves. The idea from Paul was that we did the building, we did the gallery, and now we do the exhibition. And by doing this, we could introduce our thoughts about the gallery as well, because we were creating this gallery also a lot in relation to the natural light. It's fantastic to do an installation in a space which we created, because we know exactly what the space is about.
Pierre, Jorge and Judith invited me to think about the exhibition. So we had several discussions how we could develop the concept for this show. We came up with this topic of assemblage. When we were looking at these furniture pieces of the collections of Paul Jackson's, first of all we realized this is really sophisticated furniture. It's highly developed in terms of craftsmanship and so on. So the detail is very important. So the question was for us, how are these pieces assembled? As you know, modern architecture tried to free space from decorative elements. So it was more about finding a spatial conception that is puristic, where the space is somehow emptied, in order to concentrate just on the elements of space, light, color, texture and so on. But as a consequence, these spaces of modernist architecture very often were not really inhabitable, or they were not really providing privacy and intimacy. So suddenly the element of the Raumteiler, the element of the paravent, was developed quite soon by the modernist architects like Corbusier or Mies van der Rohe. So the room divider was a very important element to fill the modernist spaces. As soon as you have to fill these modernist empty spaces, it is about scenography, it is about the performance of the space. And in the work of Gonzalez Haase, there is also a clear relationship, or a direct relationship, to the art context and even to the theater and performance context, as they were working for a certain while with Robert Wilson. So what you can see here in the installation, it's not just a kind of abstract concept of space, but it's a kind of scenography where the furniture pieces are used in a performative way.
Each element we looked in a way that it's like an actor in the space, so we gave each element its space to play with the surrounding. This is what it was interesting as well. How far do we go? Do we give just a background to the furniture piece, or do we even enter into its structure by suspending it or giving a niche? And this was an interesting play, like how to integrate the furniture pieces into the installation.
For us was more to try to find these relations and to put in relation all these objects. It was necessary to find something that leads them together, and this leading object, it was of course a form of paravent wall Raumteiler that was of course fitting very well to the gallery, but also becoming also the reflect of the gallery, so showing the light of the gallery, showing finally the only particular element of the gallery, that is this grey wall that is thought a bit like a paravent. So it's everything mirroring somehow. If I will pick an object right now, maybe the shelf from Hugo La Pietra, that is a very interesting object also because is not too far from to be or to become a space divider. and also this possibility to use it from one side and turn around, and then you have the other side. That is somehow quite strange. And then if you take it, each piece separately, it becomes nearly something else. It's nearly something that you can take and go somewhere else with.
Yeah, I like very, very much this tool from Charles and Ray Eames. And it's by putting them just vertically on top of each other, it becomes a totally new element. And this is very, very simple. It's a sculpture, but it's also function, materiality, space, it's everything in once.